Another video. This is a Patreon request for me to do a commentary on the 1998 film What Dreams May Come. This is for Andrew Chilton. First off, I apologize, Andrew. This is taking me a while to get to this. I'll explain why when I'm doing the video. But if anyone's ever interested in sending a request of any type of video, whether it be a review, a re-review, a commentary, a topic, pretty much anything, you'd either do it directly via my PayPal, and a link to that would be down below, or you do it via my Patreon, where certain things give you certain tiers. If not, no worries. But let's get right into it. 3, 2, 1, pressing play. As we are Universal logo here. And let me turn this down a little bit. Sorry about that. Well, you can't hear it, but anyway. I was saying why it took me a while to do this. Well, it's because it stars Robin Williams. And when Robin Williams passed away, it really was a hell of a bummer, because I love Robin Williams. He seemed like the sweetest guy, very funny. I've enjoyed many of his films. And right off the bat, I don't know why. It seems like anytime I play something to do a commentary, then the video just stutters like this, so I apologize. I don't know why it does that. But Robin Williams, I love Club Paradise. I love the film Toys. I think that's underrated. I enjoyed Mrs. Doubtfire, which I reviewed on the channel. Awakenings, Good Morning Vietnam, Jumanji, and many others. And I've always enjoyed this film. I mean, this came out in 1998. It's directed by the same guy that was going to do Alien 3, funny enough. Vincent Ward. He's the one that came up with that idea with the monks and the wooden planet, which I don't think that would have been a good idea either, but they changed all this stuff. He left, and then they got David Fincher. But yeah, Robin Williams, I really was a gut punch when he passed away, and then you find out that he had this disease where he committed suicide, and for all we know, he wasn't in the... Maybe he himself didn't really do it because what was going on with his brain. We don't know that. That's what was going on with his brain. And the guy did not deserve that fate. I mean, it sounds morbid, but there's so many other people that are still around, and yet a guy like Robin Williams isn't. So it just goes to show you life isn't fair. And so it took me a while to do this commentary, not just because of Robin Williams, but because of the subject material, because it's about, of course, these two characters, Robin Williams and the lady here. They fall in love and have a family, and then one day, after sadly their kids have passed away, it's the two of them, and then Robin Williams' character passes away. So you have Robin Williams in the afterlife with heaven and hell, and again, it's in a way, it's a bitter pill to swallow, but at the same time, that's not the movie's fault, and I do think this is a very underrated film. It did not do well when it came out. No one ever talks about this film, but I think it's a beautiful looking movie with some stunning visuals. I think the actors do a good job, including Robin Williams. You also have Cuba Gooding Jr., Max von Sydow, who's another guy we lost. And here we get the establishment of the love story, how they first met, because it's a good love story, this film. That's the crux of the plot, the movie. Because if you've seen the film, you know what it is, but later on, the lady commits suicide, so she goes to her personal hell, and Robin Williams like, I'm going to go where I need to in order to get her. And they do a good job showcasing like the joy and love that they share for each other, but I don't think it comes off as schmaltzy or goofy to the point of cringeworthy or eye-rolling. Just shows, the family having a good time. There's the daughter, the son, the wife, the husband. Things are good, and sadly, like in real life, also in the movie, things are not fair. Because these two kids, their son and daughter are going to pass away. And I can't really tell you much backstory because I don't think the film never really got any special edition that had features that were updated, like brand new interviews with blah blah blah. I mean, sadly that's not the case with this. I'm sure it's on Blu-ray. If it does have features maybe from back in the day, I don't even know any of that. But so I don't know really any bits of trivia for this. But yeah, sorry I'm not speaking much. Never sometimes sure what to do with these commentaries because I didn't work on the film. This was a request. He obviously wanted me to hear my thoughts on the film, but again, I don't know what to really say during commentary wise for certain scenes. And I feel like doing commentary I have to keep talking, so if I suck, I apologize. I forgot Richard Matheson did the novel on this. Completely forgot. Of course, Richard Matheson, people remember the story I Am Legend, among others. And of course, the last time we're going to see these kids, or at least in this way. And sadly, this type of stuff happens all the time. And just, that's how it goes. I'm sure I have to wonder people in the theater if they saw this for the first time or on home video. When it got to this part, they go, oh shit, okay. This is not the super comedic funny Robin Williams film. This is a different animal. I don't know why this film did not do much. I think it won the Oscar for special effects. I think it did that, but really nothing else. And again, no one ever talks about this film. And it does have gorgeous visuals, but I think the story, in a weird way, is uplifting. It's very well directed. The actors do their jobs fairly well. Has some interesting twists. For example, Cuba Gooding Jr. and who he really is, and I think also it's Max von Sydow, I believe, as well. I didn't know that, didn't expect that, but because of where they're at, I guess it does make sense in a weird way. And the fact of, well, why not? Just the little girl draw on the painting that was pissing. Okay. Obviously, this must be the assistant, or is this the mom? I think the mom. And she just bitchy. And Robin Williams, I mean, this is a guy that was just so talented. I mean, not only was he really funny and talented, and just you watch interviews with the guy, and he was always witty, he was always on fire, making up 18 million things within one interview. Just watch the Inside the Actor Studio, which even that guy, James Lipton, who hosted it, passed away. I mean, but watch that, or any other interview with Robin Williams, just how he could go off the fly and improv with the best of them. And on top of that, he was really good in the dramatic portion, whether it be in this, even in parts of Mrs. Doubtfire, Awakenings, many more, Good Will Hunting. I mean, the guy could act as well. And what's sad is that, like a lot of actors, their recent, at the time, product was not that great. I mean, I'm sorry, I didn't care for the one that he did, that Bobcat Goldthwait directed, World's Greatest Dad. I did not care for that one. There was another one, not Boulevard, but there was another one, I forget, but where he played a really angry guy, like the angriest man, and blah blah. I thought that was disappointing. What was the Final Cut? I thought was really, really lame. So I don't love all of the stuff he's been in, but I did like a lot of it. So obviously we've developed that Ron Williams' character knows what he's doing, and I mean, I guess if you saw the trailer and such, you kind of know what's going to happen. So I guess it's more the anticipation of it happening. But still. Interesting sound design when the tire hit the windshield. And he's a doctor, so he wants to see if someone's hurt. So shows that he's a good person, even within. Could have just left and said, fuck this, go around. But to help someone, there you go. That was a nice little cut there, where you don't really see the impact, it just cuts right before that. I don't think the body would be that pristine, especially when you don't really see really any blood. So I don't know, I don't really see that happening. But just a really nice visual way of telling the story of going to the afterlife. And that's what I appreciate, is interesting visual ways of telling the story. Doesn't mean always work, but I do appreciate the effort. Yeah, this weird blurry effect for Cuba. He looks naked. I'm like, he looks naked. Why is he naked? That is weird that like Cuba Gooding Chair is like twirling around and he's naked and yeah, he's blurry, but like I just don't understand like what's the motive of him being naked? This weird. When you die, the first thing you see is a naked black man. I do enjoy this film, but it's been forever since I've seen this. I don't think I've seen a Robin Williams film since he passed away, unless it's been a review. Like you've seen the review for it, because it's like you watch it, it's hard to watch it. But now I'm like it's fine. I can watch it because he did a lot of great work. So here we got, I guess, the show, the first inclination this family dealt with death, which is the death of the dog. You got a little rainbow effect there. Stop with the lens flares. Don't be J.J. Abrams. Maybe it's showcasing memories, like some say, before that, some parts of your life flash before your eyes. Maybe this is part of that. Maybe that's what's meant to represent. I don't know. And sorry I'm not saying much because this is, I don't know, with the subject material, it's not really a film I'm going to joke about much. And I do really enjoy the film, but at the same time, I guess I'm just more used to doing reviews than commentaries, but well, maybe I can try to joke a little bit. Focus on the person. Holy shit, you're black. No, that was more like, he's a ghost. It's Ghost Dad. No, not really. I mean, I'm trying to think like all the... I really enjoy Robin Williams stand-up. Those are fun to watch, especially his first big one. I forget the name of it, but in the audience, he had people like John Ritter come up on the stage, and that was definitely the most fun, energetic one. I also enjoyed pretty much all of them, but then the much later one he did live on Broadway, which was in the 2000s. I believe that's what it was called. Or was it called something else? I can't remember. And then movie-wise, I don't remember what his first film was, but of course he got successful with Mork and Mindy. I remember watching Mork and Mindy. I didn't watch a lot of it. I think I had the DVD of the first season. Sadly, I don't have it anymore. But I remember enjoying the show. And then he got into movies, and he did Popeye, which I don't hate Popeye like other people do. I do think it's an entertaining musical. Let's see, what else did he do? Films, I barely remember anything. The film he did, Walter Matthau, I can't remember. The Survivors or the Survivalists, or was it the Survivors or something? I can't. That shows how much I remember that movie. Then, like Club Paradise, directed by Harold Ramis, a lot of people hated it, and I thought it was a lot of fun. And then he was definitely finding more success later on when he did films like Good Morning Vietnam. Of course, The Genie of Aladdin, he was great in that. I know at one point there was talks he really wanted to be the Joker, and sadly that didn't work out. And I think at one time they were thinking of him with the Riddler, but he was pissed off because he felt he was toyed with, like, maybe you could play Joker, and then they got someone else to play it. And one thing that it was endearing, he did this film, very underrated, called Cadillac Man, which I want to rewatch that sometime. I really want to rewatch Cadillac Man. And in the cast was an actress named Judith Hoag. And there's a story where he found out she was going to next do this Ninja Turtle movie, and that he had slipped her some of the comic books of Ninja Turtles. And part of me is like, yeah, right. But then when I see the guy and he had a daughter, I think his daughter's named Zelda from the video game, I'm like, okay, maybe I do buy that a bit. And I thought that was really cool and really, just kind of endearing. Because this is Robert Williams trying to get in touch with his wife, but it's the wrong thing to do because it's just freaking her out. Make it seem as if she's losing it. She's losing it. She's losing it. The crust. Sorry, I saw it. The crust is burnt. Burnt? The crust is Tilex. Sounds like a window washer. Tilex. Clean your windows. You're freaking the shit out of her. You need to leave. Lexi. Sorry, now I'm just watching the movie. Again, that's the mistake I made. I haven't seen this film for a while, so now I'm just watching the film, and I doubt Andrew Chiltern paid for that. So I apologize. I mean, it's definitely a bit of a somber movie. But I mean, it still has some fun to it. Again, it has a good heart to it. Is very well made, well directed. The actors do a great job. It's beautiful cinematography, great special effects, especially when we get to heaven. And And he realizes he has to go because it's just freaking her out. Maybe some people didn't like it, critics and such, because they thought it was too on the nose with the visuals. For example, here with the tunnel and the light, and they thought, oh, that's too on the nose. But I don't know, if it works, it works. So it doesn't bother me. Maybe they thought it was too, not too preachy, but they thought it was too, I said too on the nose, but there's a certain word I'm trying to think of. Maybe I'll think of it later. And we get to, thought this was a really cool idea where everything's made of paint because his wife was really into painting. So even the flowers are made of paint and all that stuff. So it definitely gives a very interesting look to the surroundings. Definitely very unique, original look, which it's pretty damn cool. And you know, they have that scene establishing that dog for this here. That's what I mean, in a way, it is an uplifting movie, because I think that's the thing everyone hopes for, is that there's something after. Whether there is or not, that's up to the individual, but it's that hope that there's something after. And that's pretty much his painting, him standing by that tree. Sorry, I was laughing because he said, maybe I'm not in your heaven, dog. Maybe I'm in mine. That was really well done. A very unique idea, too. I appreciate that. Really cool looking valley. Again, everything's like made of paint, so each time he steps on something, that's a really cool idea. But I mean, it is kind of weird when you think about it that technically Cuba Gooding Jr. is a white guy, but in the vein of a black guy. So is that like a weird version of blackface? Because as a white guy in heaven became a black guy. So again, is that a version of blackface? Just something weird to think about. It's sad that a lot of movies nowadays, they don't really get as creative as films like this. I mean, maybe because there were just countless reboots and remakes and sequels and remakes of animated Disney films to live action, even though live action is all CGI. 85 superhero movies, and I didn't just getting redundant and less creative and less interesting. And granted, some of those films I do enjoy, to be perfectly honest, but sometimes I'm in for a movie like this, which is fairly creative. I don't think you really needed a poo joke there, but even in this film they had to put a poo joke in. Come on, guys. But I mean, he's not going to like wreck the movie. Oh, nope, I'm done. I'm going to leave. Goodbye. No, not that. I remember this scene because it's an interesting idea because you're dead, so you don't have to worry about drowning. I have to think just how difficult this would have been where you have to be under the water, you have to walk as if you don't care, and you're moving your mouth like you're talking. And it looks like he's really underwater. It really looks like he's underwater. He probably is underwater. Because anytime you open your mouth, that means all this water is going to go into your mouth and to your lungs. So that must have been a hell of a hard scene to shoot. Really beautiful colors too all around. The best part of waking up is folders in your cup. But I'm trying to think of the films of 1988, like what came out around that time. I think that was the year where you had, I think, Armageddon and Deep Impact. You had, I want to say, The Wedding Singer. Can't remember all the films that came out in 1998. I'd have to look it up. I don't know why. For some reason, when I turn on the camera, my brain just shuts down and I can't remember details. I remember the word I was looking for before, pretentious. I think scenes like that, people thought, oh, that's pretentious. Like, oh, the filmmaker, he's pretentious, like this unsubtle way of showcasing. But again, to me, if it works, it works. I mean, I kept talking about Ron Williams. I guess I talk about Cuba Gooding Jr. a little bit. I mean, I like I like Cuba Gooding Jr. as an actor. I think he does a good job in this film. It's one of those things though that after he won his Oscar for Jerry Maguire, his career really went downhill. I mean, I'm trying to think what year was Jerry Maguire? Was that 96 or so? Or, I can't remember the year Jerry Maguire came out. He did a good job in that film, but it did not deserve an Oscar. I'm sorry. I don't see anything in that performance that's Oscar worthy. He's barely in the film. He says, "Show me the money." Is that an Oscar worthy performance? I don't think so. I think he did a good job, Jerry Maguire, but someone tell me, please, what is Oscar worthy about his performance? I mean, I can name multiple people. I mean, hell, Denzel, his performance on Man on Fire is more striking than Cuba's performance and Jerry Maguire. I mean, Tim Robbins and Jacob's Ladder from 1990. Multiple others. I mean, and then after he won the Oscar, he did films like Boat Trip. And what the hell was that one he did? Was like The Temptation? Something about a choir and the Rocking Temptations or the Loving Temptations. I can't remember. I don't think not many people do either. But I still like him as an actor. I don't think he chose all the best roles, but I still think he's a good actor. Even Show Factor I like. I mean, it's not great, but I do like the film. That was a long-ass jump. Well, long-ass fall, really. Long-ass fall. He's a superhero. Now he's got his cape. That's why I do wish Robin Williams was still with us. I mean, there's so many things he could have done, man. I mean, so many more. I mean, so many more like stand-up performances if he wanted to. Maybe he would want to be part of the Jumanji sequels with The Rock and what, Kevin Hart. I mean, maybe that would have made those films better. Maybe not, but maybe he would have worked with Marvel, like all these comic book stuff going on. Like maybe he could have worked with Marvel or even DC or whatever. I mean, sky's the limit nowadays. And it's, you know, even if he didn't do anything else, just seemed like a genuine nice guy. Sweet of a guy, very talented, very funny, but also wonderful in comedy. Meanwhile, you're showcasing her misery because, I mean, she lost her kids, she lost her husband, she's alone, she's depressed. There's no one there to help her. And, when you do find out who Corridon Jr. is, when you look back, it's like sometimes I go, well, if it's really his kid, that means it's his mom. wouldn't he be reacting in certain other ways, like more emotional ways or more frenetic ways? Or maybe that's just me. I mean, I don't know, did you really need that twist? That would be up to the people watching this. Did they really need the twist where, oh, Max von Sydow is really this person and Gordon Jr. is really this person? I mean, granted, on the one hand, yeah, because it showcases that their kids were there all along. And then there'd always be that question in the back of your head, well, where are the kids? If the dog's there, why aren't the kids there? So I guess in the long run, it's an interesting way of doing it, like showcasing the kids, but not literally having the kids. So I mean, the more I think about it, yeah, this probably worked out for the better. But yeah, it just seems like there's certain moments that you would think, but sorry I keep zoning out. I just keep watching the movie, but part of me was like, what's the point of these fucking riddles? Like, just say I'm your kid, dipshit. I'm hiding from you because of something. But yeah, God, now I'm trying to think of stuff to say. Maybe trying to... Maybe I'm going to try to see what came out in 1998 if I learn how to talk straight. Because again, this is not a film that I hate, so it's not like me constantly making fun of it. It's not a film... I really enjoy it, but there are films where you're like, oh, I enjoy it, but I could just still jovial... Again, just... You keep thinking of Robin Williams and In Heaven and The Afterlife, and it's just like, you know, if things are fair, this is happening right now with Robin. And it's just... Oh, that's the daughter, the Asian girl, not Max von Sydow. See, that shows how long I fucking seen this. That's the daughter. I'm sure people are like, you fucking stupid bad. No, it's not. I said it's been a long time since I've seen this, but once I saw her, I'm like, oh yeah, that's right. She's the daughter. And they do explain, from what I remember, why they looked that way, why they chose that form. Sorry, the stupid chair. What do you think? I think I'm on acid. Everyone's flying. Everyone's floating. Everyone looks like they're from 1852 in England. Well, I mean, if you don't use the word heavenly, that's definitely an image to showcase it. Because I'm like, where are the computers? Where are the movies? Where's the sex? There's no sex, I guess. No more shit. But okay, let me go on to 1998 just to showcase a bit what came out. You had Firestorm, which was not much of a movie, mainly because Howie Long does not work as an action hero. I mean, there's some decent action bits, but still. Fallen, I reviewed on the channel. I'd rather just go watch The First Power. Half-Baked is a fun movie. Hard Rain, underrated movie. Phantoms, entertaining. Athletes the Bomb and Phantoms, yo. Deep Rising, a favorite of mine. I reviewed that a couple times. Desperate Measures, Michael Keaton's good, but the movie itself is very flawed in its screenplay. Blues Brothers 2000, pretty awful. The Replacement Killers, pretty underrated. Sphere, I reviewed like a week or two ago, and I enjoy Sphere. Wedding Singer, I reviewed when I did my Adam Sandler marathon, where I reviewed a bunch of his movies. Really enjoy The Wedding Singer. Alan Smithy film, Burn Hollywood Burn. I have a review of that on the channel. That's pretty bad. Dark City, I have a review of that on the channel. That's a good one. Dark City's great. Big Lebowski, one of my favorite comedies. U.S. Marshals, pretty decent film. Chairman of the Board, yeah, spell it B-O-R-E-D. Wild Things, I was not a fan of it. Meet the Deedles, I like to give that a shot. It looks silly, but it's got Paul Walker and I would be interested. Lost in Space, could not get into. Mercury Horizon, I do think it's an underrated Bruce Willis film. The Players Club, I reviewed that on the channel. It was one of the Patreon requests. I reviewed that a few weeks ago. Odd Couple 2, I actually enjoy that sequel. Species 2, I ranted on that sequel on the channel a long time ago. It sucks. The Big Hit, I reviewed that on the channel. That's a fun one, even with Mark Wahlberg in it. Black Dog, I reviewed that when I did my Patrick Swayze marathon. Black Dog's a fun one. He Got Game, that's actually a Patreon request. That'll be coming sometime this month. Godzilla, I enjoy the 1998 Godzilla Sue Me. I saw it in the theater. Love it. Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas, really enjoy that film. My favorite Terry Gilliam film, honestly. Almost Heroes, I did review that on the channel. Disappointing, that's Chris Farley's last film he starred in. Insomnia, another film, Robin Williams. I don't mind the film, but I like this film a lot more. Truman Show, great Jim Carrey flick. 6 Days, 7 Nights, underrated. Harrison Ford movie, directed by Ivan Reitman. Mulan, I reviewed that on the channel. Was pleasantly surprised by it. Reviewed that like a month or so ago. X-Files, I believe I reviewed that on the channel. I believe, but I enjoyed the first X-Files movie. Dr. Dolittle, I probably have to redo that for Eddie Murphy. I did Eddie Murphy marathon. I reviewed most of his movies, but I think sadly that's one of them that I have to redo. It was a kid's film. Armageddon, I could never get into this compared to others. Madeline, I reviewed that on the channel about a month or so ago. Small Soldiers, I reviewed that on the channel about a month or so ago. Let's see. Saving Private Ryan, I reviewed that a month or so ago on the channel. Negotiator, I reviewed that like 2 or 3 months ago on the channel. Basketball, that's a review that's going to be coming sometime this month. Halloween H2O, I reviewed that years ago when I reviewed all the Halloween films. Blade, I reviewed that. I reviewed all the Blade films. I love the first two Blades. Third one, not so much. Pocahontas 2, I reviewed that on the channel a month or so ago. Maybe 2 months ago. Knockoff, I don't mind that film. It has its flaws though. I reviewed that when I did my Jean-Claude Van Damme marathon. Tube, I believe there's a review of that from many, many years ago. Many years ago. I don't mind the first Tube. Rush Hour I enjoy. Ronin's pretty decent. I like Urban Legend. Ants I reviewed. I might have had to take that down when I did my Stolen Marathon. Holy Man, more like Holy Shit. I reviewed that. I know that's still up. That's part of my Eddie Murphy marathon. I reviewed that. Bride of Chucky, I reviewed that. That was actually a Patreon request a month or two ago. Because here we find out that it's his daughter. Because someone her dad smiled at is like, wow, he looks beautiful. Pretty sweet. A lot of sweet, interesting ideas in this, like to be able to create your own world, that you could create the way you look. What would you look like if you had the choice? If you're in this situation, what would you look like? Me, I'd probably stay the same, but well, maybe not exactly the same, but bigger. No, I'm just saying. Let's see, going back to this. Soldier I enjoy. But let's see. Vampires, that's a good one. John Carpenter. That'd be in my top 5 favorite vampire movies. The Waterboy. I know I did my Adam Sandler marathon. I skipped that one because I just did not care to hear that fucking voice. I liked a lot of Adam Sandler movies back in the day, but The Waterboy was never one of them. Enemy of the State. That's a good Tony Scott movie no one talks about anymore. A Bug's Life. I reviewed that like a month ago. I just realized Psycho, I reviewed that remake when I reviewed all the Psycho films. I reviewed a lot of 1998 movies, I come to realize. Star Trek Insurrection, I reviewed that when I did the Star Trek reviews. Those are still on the channel. The Prince of Egypt, I reviewed that like a month or two ago. The Thin Red Line, I do enjoy. The Faculty, I like. Minor Joe Young, I believe. Well, that review might not be up anymore. I do enjoy it, though. Yeah, might keep this up. I'm going to have every film of 1998 reviewed. Well, technically, this isn't a review. It's a commentary, but you know what I mean. Wow, I didn't realize that. Maybe if I keep this stuff up, maybe I will have every movie reviewed of a certain decade. And then maybe someone will be like, here's a playlist, A through Z, all the reviews. Because I grew up with those kind of books. I grew up with those kind of books where you go from A, B, C, D, and part of me always wanted to write a book like that, but that would require so much time and effort that I would never have time to do it. I mean, I'd love to do it one day, but I would love to do it one day, but require a lot of time. Sorry, I'm clearing my throat. I wanted to get away from the... Because the whole thing where she committed suicide and suicides go somewhere else. Got some deep themes here. But again, this is what I'm talking about. Like, we know that afterward, this is the son. This is the son character. And yeah, he's a little bit teary-eyed, but I think he would be a lot more teary-eyed if you find out that your own mom went to hell. You get what I mean? That you wouldn't be this, I want to say calm and collected. He's still teary-eyed, but still, you would think you'd be beyond devastated. And this is where the journey's going to start, where he's going to bring her back. Which is a cool idea. I mean, they did it with this, but I just see a movie still being made where the whole plot is a journey from heaven to hell as a big battle that gets someone out of there. I mean, in a way it's this, but I'm talking about like an action movie. Like, imagine an action movie where it's heaven, go to hell, battle, and bring someone back. I mean... Robin Williams is so good in this too, man. He's so good in this. Like these beautiful sets and the amount of money they put into this to create these worlds. They don't do that. And let's be fair, it's because this did not pan out, did not make a lot of money. It bombed. It probably lost money. So if you look at it from a business point of view, why they don't keep putting in money for something that might not get a profit because of the various other films that didn't get a profit? I mean, how many films can we list that were flops and didn't make any money, and then you watch the films like, this was a good movie? A shitload. I mean, you could use that as, haha, that's shitty movie. Look, you even lost money. Just because it's a movie you don't like, so you want to rub its nose in the dirt and step on it. So you use whatever you can, including that. But, you know, people go, why do they keep making these superhero movies and sequels, remakes, reboots? Because they make money. Not all of them, but a lot of them do. And if not in the theaters, then VOD, rentals, foreign sales. That's another thing people have to realize. That even if a film doesn't do well, because it's a notable name, people don't recognize the name. If they're flipping through their Netflix or flipping through the VOD or flipping through, they don't click on it, and it's going to click on again and again and again. Thus wow, we made a profit, or hey, things actually worked out well, or hey, worked out better than these other movies that were trying for the fences and failed. Sorry, I was just listening to Max von Sydow, which I mentioned. Yeah, we lost him too. Sad to say. And Max von Sydow is such a very, very solid, worthy, the theater type of actor, worthy of the admiration of the theater, but also willing to do stuff like Vito, the voice of Vito in Ghostbusters 2. And he came back to do the video game. If you play the Ghostbusters video game, there's a painting of Vito. Granted, I don't know why there's a painting of Vito, because Ghostbusters 2, it was changed to the Ghostbusters holding the baby. But for some reason, the Vito painting's back in the Ghostbusters video game, which is Ghostbusters 3. But they got Max von Sydow to come back and do voices, so you can go up the painting, click on it. It's on YouTube. Type in Ghostbusters video game Vito, and you'll see it. V-I-G-O, Vito. And people will go up, and you click on it. It's just a bunch of dialogue Max von Sydow did for the game. So I thought that was a really cool sport that he was willing to do that. Of course, as you remember most for The Exorcist. Not The Exorcist 2. The la na 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 na. Not The Exorcist 2, which, yes, I have reviewed The Exorcist films. From the first one to the beginning, and what was the other Exorcist for? The beginning and Dominion. But I did 1, 2, 3, and beginning, Dominion. I have all the Exorcist reviews up for those interested. Pretty much showcasing here that the danger is not physical, of course, but losing your mind. That's the danger of it. I look at these great visuals. I mean, imagine like all these people trying to overtake and push the boat over. This is not a very good day. Whoops. Oh shit. Granted, I'm wondering, you can't fly here, I guess? Because you saw people flying before, I guess you can't fly here either? This is showcasing the relationship between him and his son, and then the realization that Cuba Gooding Jr. and what his character is. So I just watch it, at least they do, to be fair, they do attempt to explain maybe the distance between that, the father and son, and why that's the case. Man, these others are fucked up. It's like after a drunken stupor. A lot of people in a drunken stupor. They're like the guy who passed out at the beginning of Jaws. I was gonna say, is that supposed to be the Titanic or something? But no. There's a shitload of ships. This green screen doesn't hold up the best. I'll admit that. This green screen is a little bit not the best with the shipwrecks. I mean, he's not god awful, but it doesn't hold up as fluid as the other ones. I'll say that. Like in this scene here, you could tell they're on a green screen and they're not really part of the environment. See, in reality, the kid would be, fuck you, Dad. Suck my dick. Go fuck yourself. But, it's not that kind of movie. You know what, Dad? Kiss my ass. Now, where's the beer and where's the Tylenol? But, again, it's not that kind of movie. Man, is this like a Pantera concert? Or Alice in Chains. Damn. What is that, Teen of the Nice Table? I mean, Teen of the Nice Table, yeah. Nice round table fighting up there. And sorry, I'm zoning out again. I apologize, Andrew. I really apologize for that. Really apologize. Again, I mean, it's a film that God, I wish Robin was still here. I really do, man. I really, really do. He's giving a good speech here. Flashback to his kid's funeral. Stuff he's saying here, people could say about Robin. And see, I mean, I know he won the Oscar, but I don't know if he really got the credit he deserved for being a strong dramatic actor as well as a comedic actor. I mean, I guess technically he did because he won the Oscar for Good Will Hunting and such, but and then he was doing darker roles like 1 Hour Photo, which was interesting. That was a bit of awkward acting where, not acting, but editing where, not even editing, but the way the camera, like one was like up close to the eyes, and I don't know, just kind of weird how that was put together. That's probably, if there's an awkward piece of direction, it was this sequence here. Hey, you stole that line from Aliens, from Hudson, except that was elevator to hell, going down, not up. Cordran Jr. does a good job in this moment though of acting. I never saw was it the, not TV show, but TV, kind of a TV movie, TV miniseries he did where he played O.J. Simpson. Never played that. I mean, I never saw that. Play that. Yeah, it's a video game. Yeah, O.J. Simpson, the video game. Oh God. I wouldn't be surprised if someone made that O.J. Simpson the video game. Here's the chase scene where you play the Ford Bronco, and be like the old Ghostbusters game, where it's the screen where you did gas, but instead it's the Ford Bronco. Still play the Ghostbusters music. And then it'd be the courtroom scene with, what was that game where you play like a lawyer and there's a lot of memes for it? That'd be the courtroom stuff for O.J. Simpson, the video game. Those women don't have mouths. Well, that sucks. For certain reasons. Nah, just kidding. Just kidding. Let's see. Maybe I could look up trivia on IMDb so that I'm not just being silent. Trivia for What Dreams May Come. I guess I'm trying to think like what's the my top 5 favorite Robin Williams films would be. I don't know what order. I've said many times Club Paradise is my favorite because that's the one I get shit on the most. Well, one of them. And I'm like, it's not that bad. I really enjoyed Robin Williams in it. I think it's fairly funny. Let's see. Top 5. Toys would be on there because I think it's very underrated. Let's see. That's 2. I can only fit 3 more. Damn. If I could only fit 3 more, I would put this on there. I really enjoy this movie. It does speak for itself, I think, but I really do enjoy it. You know, I have a lot of fun with Jumanji, the first Jumanji. I would put that on there. That's tough. God, that's tough. I do like Cadillac Man. I like Mrs. Doubtfire. I like Aladdin. That's really tough. Because if I put one, then I'm not getting the other. Let's see, look at the trivia. Such a weird idea, like all these people's heads having to step on heads. That's so depressing. As okay, so that wasn't his dad. Okay. That guy sounded like Werner Herzog or someone, but with glasses. Well, I mean, it sounded like him. I couldn't recognize it if it is. He's got glasses on, but it sounded like Werner Herzog. Probably not, though. The title is derived from William Shakespeare's Hamlet Act 3, Scene 1. To sleep, perchance to dream. Aye, there's the rub. For in that sleep of death, what dreams may come, when we have shuffled off this mortal coil, must give us pause. Wow, I didn't realize this. When Robin Williams is with his dog and comes across Cuba Gooding Jr.'s character who is standing in the water, Robin Williams recognized him in his youth. Cuba Gooding Jr. exclaims, "You last saw me when I was 63, stretched out in a cardiac ward. Who wants to be 63 throughout eternity?" Robin Williams passed away at the age of 63. Who wants to be 63 throughout eternity? Robin Williams passed away at age 63. Oh my God. Wow. The musical supervisor for the film has said in an interview that Axl Rose intended to have the unreleased Guns N' Roses song "This I Love" in this movie, but for some reason the director did not use the song. Huh. Interesting. In the book by Richard Matheson, the character has 4 children. In the book, Cuba Gooding Jr.'s character is his cousin who was sickly when they were young and died at an early age. I just like the physical appearance. The original score had music from Ennio Morricone. However, Morricone's score was rejected after some initial screen tests. Huh. I like the score in this, but I'd be interested. Ennio Morricone's score they used for this? I mean, I'd be interested to hear that, but never will. Annabelle Stiora and Robin Williams worked together on Cadillac Man. That's a good one. This was first announced by 20th Century Fox in 1984 with Wolfgang Petersen directing. Wolfgang Petersen, he's the guy who directed Enemy Mine. I believe he did Air Force One, In the Line of Fire. Let's see. Let's see. But, And of course, I haven't brought that up, but the whole idea is that she committed suicide, and then Robin Williams committed suicide. Whether he was in his right mind because of what was going on in his head, I don't know. Because if you look up what Robin Williams sadly had, I mean, Bobcat Goldthwait, I think, talked about it with Joe Rogan on YouTube. Because Bobcat Goldthwait was good friends and directed him in a movie. And might not, I mean, Robin Williams did it, but it might not have been his choice with the mind. I mean, don't know for sure. Or he did, and because he didn't want to live, I don't know. I can't tell you. I don't know. So Max von Sydow used to be the character that Cuba Gooding Jr.'s outside. So, I mean, there you go. So I'm just listening to the dialogue. I apologize. Pretty much you can only last for 3 minutes, otherwise her reality becomes yours and you lose your mind. So, interesting take on hell, whatever you want to call this. And I mean, again, it's an interesting sort of different take on it. That's what I mean. This is a interesting, visually splendid, couple rough edges here and there because it's a 1998 film. I mean, 98 to 2008, 2008 to 2018. God, well over 20 years. Well over 20 years, man. For a movie that's over 20 years old, it still looks pretty good, in my opinion. Just beautiful visual touches. And I do think there's some meat to the story. I mean, the themes of suicide, the themes of heaven and hell, and yeah, I don't really get why this kind of came and went, really. Just came and went for some reason. Okay. I don't really know why. But yeah, hmm. Let's see. Okay. I'll be right back. Just gotta check something real quick. Well, something screwed up, so then I had to go back and fix something, so I apologize. So it might not be 100% in sync, but it should be at least maybe 10 seconds difference. Have to link these two together when I'm done. But I didn't realize that it's still about 30 minutes left. About. But yeah, I mean, it's last somber themes when you talk about this movie. I mean, Robin Williams passing away, then dealing with suicide, and this movie deals with suicide and hell, and but also soulmates and him getting in touch with his children again. All sorts of stuff of that nature. That no matter what he's saying, she doesn't recognize him. Pretty much. Her not believing in the afterlife. Her going, when you're dead, you disappear and all that stuff. And Robin Williams, I mean, does a great job in this. I guess it's a thing where, yeah, it could sound, I hate the word cheesy, it could sound corny, but the whole soulmate thing, I mean, whether you believe in that or not, I don't know. If that's the case, there's a lot of people who are fucking lonely because they're alone, they don't have no damn soulmate, so I don't know about the whole thing, but it's a nice motif, it's a nice thought, and sometimes the thought does count. I know that's usually a bullshit answer because, hey, you got a shitty present for your birthday or your Christmas. Funny enough, it is the month of my birthday. I think I'm doing this on the 7th. Not sure when this will be uploaded. Probably try to upload maybe the 9th, give or take. Maybe the 8th. 8th or not. Maybe I'll try for the 8th. Because Andrew, it's been waiting long enough. I apologize. But yeah, just how to work up to this. So think of happy thoughts. Think of my birthday, May 25th. And, think of happy thoughts. Think of a beautiful lady sit on my face. Think of another beautiful lady between my legs right now. Gusher. But it's me being silly and stupid. But I mean, this is a great movie that deserves to be watched, and I think it deserves to be talked about more. It does not deserve to be forgotten like it has been. This is a film I need to pick up sometime on Blu-ray. I think I only have it on DVD, but I need to pick up the Blu-ray of this. Right now I'm watching on the computer. It just makes it easier to do these. So I'm not just looking over there, and then the sound would drown in and get in trouble with copyright. But here I could watch it here, and headphones, all this stuff. But yeah. I think this is when that flashback where wife had a mental break, so to speak, a meltdown, so to speak, and I'm going, oh, I wish I was there for you. And then it gets to here where it's like, I'm not going to leave you again. I'm going to be here, and that's it. So it's a sweet movie. Really, at the end of the day, it is a sweet film. good heart to it. You know, some maybe people think it's schmaltzy and over sentimental, reeking of sentimentality. No, I mean I could see that. I could see that for Bicentennial Man, which I reviewed on here. I was not a fan of Bicentennial Man. I could see that for Patch Adams, which I'm not big on. This though, this I don't think is the case for that, at least to me. Sorry, now I'm blanking out again. I apologize. I've been doing that a lot. I don't know what it is. I think it's just I'm not a film scholar. I don't have a bunch of papers. Maybe I should have been had that. I don't really talk too much into the artistic intricacies of certain sequences, and you know, to go super in depth on the dramatic elements of this sequence compared to the 3 sequences before, and then in conjunction with the 2 sequences after. I don't usually talk that way. I can maybe think that way, but it's like I either enjoy it or I don't. Maybe I just say this scene goes on a bit too long. I could say that. I mean, I get why. Is that supposed to be super easy? Obviously. But I think maybe it's just going a little bit tad too long. That's just me. But yes, that's supposed to be super easy and done in 2 minutes. Wow, that was hard. I just supposed to be like, well, they talk about how no one has done a suicide batch, so it has to show it, the toughness. And so, to be fair, I understand the reasoning for it. I mean, for a Robin Williams film, maybe that's another thing people expected a bit more funny comedic moments, and it's like, well, look at the subject material. Look what the movie's about. And there's a couple humorous moments, but it's not even Good Morning Vietnam in terms of going for laughs, let alone Mrs. Doubtfire or something of that sort. But again, with the subject material, it's kind of hard to work that in, you know what I mean? And there's still joy, like when he was in heaven, but I don't know, maybe some people put Robin Williams in the box of they just want him to be funny, and you know, I can understand that to a certain extent. But I do think the guy is talented all around, and Can you imagine that was the ending where she's left and he goes back to heaven with his kids and the wife is still in hell? Can you imagine if it ended like that? Well, I did my best. Goodbye. Doo -doo -doo -doo. But pretty much he's gonna stay because he doesn't want to leave the mom. So there you go. I mean, this definitely has a good heart to it. That's the thing at the end of the day. I mean, it's got good special effects and flashy visuals and a very capable cast, especially Robin Williams. But you know what? It's got a nice story to it with a lot of heart. Maybe people thought it was too drenching in, like I said, mentality, or people thought it was cookie cutter, corny. To me, I was fine with it, more than fine with it. To me, I think it's fairly well done. Now you remember. Now you remember. But I do like that. I do like that she's able to do something too. It's not just a one-sided thing. She's able to reach him as well. So it's not just a one-sided thing. He didn't give up on her, and now she's going to do the same for him. So I do like that quite a bit. You know, that would have been more hilarious and fuck you to the audience if he wakes up and the entire movie was a dream. And it was maybe it was his character and I don't know, his character from Good Morning Vietnam or something, or his character from, I don't know, The Genie. Wow, I had a weird dream. I mean, you made me free, Aladdin, but damn, I had a weird dream. See, look, blue, like the genie. So I don't know, just being silly. I know sometimes people wonder why I hold the microphone like this. It's just sometimes my wrist hurts by... I need to get a damn stand. I sadly could not bring that, but I need to get a stand just to hold it like this. I need to look into that sometime. But yeah. If travel was like in our mind, then why the hell didn't you do that to get from here to hell? Why do we have to take a boat? We could just teleport here, pretty much, because it's your mind. Why can't we do that? Boom, we're right where she's at. No, we had to get to Metz von Sydow, then we had to go on a fucking boat, and then... But I'm not being serious, I know why. And I keep I keep commenting on the visuals. It's definitely deserved of mention. If this did win the visual effects, it definitely deserved it. But I said there's a lot more to it than that. With the, yeah, I think the story works, the actors do their jobs well, the writing. I just had a funny thought, like all of a sudden Cuba Gooding Jr. comes out and she's like, "Who the fuck are you? I was in radio." I was in radio. Don't you remember that radio? Where I tried to win an Oscar again and it failed? I was radio. I don't know, it just makes me think of that bit of conversation in Tropic Thunder, and if you've seen the movie, you know what I mean. This is probably the one bit I sincerely do not like about the film, is this whole reborn thing. Not because whether you believe it, don't believe it, that's not even part of the conversation for me. It's, you just got together again. You just got with your kids again. And now you want to leave. You got in, I mean, again, you just got with your kids, as well as found each other again, and now you want to go through, what, 20 years of where the fuck? Been fucking... And you don't have any memories of your kids. That's the thing. You're not going to have any memories of your fucking kids. You're probably going to have other kids. And then it's like, oh yeah, my two kids that, oh, I forgot about you. Too bad. So fucking sad. I forgot about my son and daughter. Oh, now here's your other sons and daughters. Here's your brothers and sisters. And then what? Since we forgot, we're going to do it again. And then there's going to be more brothers and sisters. And then again. And then more. And then again. So, I just would have preferred them staying in heaven for the ending. I don't care for this this bullshit. I'm sorry. I don't know. That's the one sincerely that I don't care for. Just to be fair, Axl Rose playing would be a bit out of place, so I guess I understand why the director didn't use it. Because I like Guns N' Roses, but it doesn't really fit in this movie, in this kind of movie. It doesn't really fit. So I understand. Like this music here kind of fits with the tone of the movie, so to speak. But yeah, that's it. That's the movie itself. I mean, I don't know what else to say. I have to put both of these parts together. Like I said, I apologize to Andrew Chilton. First off, I apologize that it's taken so long to do this. Second off, I apologize if the commentary isn't the best. I know there's a lot of people, well, a lot of new people that come on the channel and go, wow, this guy's really boring. Why, what the hell? Why don't you show some energy? I mean, that was a comment I got the other day. Matt, who's this guy? He's just so boring. I don't know how else to do it. How else to say it? I mean, if I hate a movie, cool, I'll be energetic. But when you love a film, or you enjoy a film like this, and I've never said I've been the best at commentaries or best at reviews. I'm far from it. So again, Andrew Chilton, I apologize if this commentary wasn't much. Thank you guys for watching. I doubt many will, or they'll shut it off fairly quickly. I don't blame you. I doubt anyone will make it to the end here. If you do, let me know. I'd be surprised. But rest in peace, Robin Williams. Rest in peace, Max von Sydow as well. And very, I mean, greatly missed. Greatly missed. So, thanks for watching. Take care. We will see you guys in the next video. Bye-bye.